Good afternoon, my YouTube viewers. It is Palestine here. I decided that I was going to make another video today, and the reason why is because I wanted to ask the question, will cancer come back when you are on aromatase inhibitors? And so I didn't know the answer to that, so I just looked on Google and asked the question on Google. And when I answered the question on Google, the reply was, yes, cancer can come back if you are on aromatase inhibitors. And the reason why is because the kind of cancer I have, and a lot of people have, is driven by estrogen. And so what happens is when you're post-menopause, then your body produces androgens. And then there's an enzyme in your body called aromatase. And what happens is the aromatase converts the androgens to estrogen. But what has happened is that this estrogen drives cancer, and so that's how I got cancer, because the aromatase in my body converted the androgens to estrogen, which is what drove my cancer. But basically, so now I'm required to take this anastrozole, and that is an aromatase inhibitor. So what it does is it blocks the aromatase. So that means my body, the aromatase in my body is blocked. So that means that it can't convert my androgens to estrogen. So that means that I could actually very well have an excess of androgens in my body. And nobody's actually told me what to do about the excess of androgens. But basically, so I wanted to know, because these side effects of anastrozole are really severe, like giving you brittle bones and giving you menopause symptoms and joint pain and a whole lot of other things. So I just thought, well, if the side effects of this drug are so extreme, is my cancer going to come back while I'm on the drug? And so obviously I'm not medically qualified. Even though I work in a hospital, I don't work in a medical field. I just do an administrative role. But Google said, yes, cancer can come back if you're on aromatase inhibitors. And the reason why is because these cancer cells are very crafty. And what they can do is, if they're starved of estrogen, which is what they want, estrogen, and they don't get the estrogen, then what they can do is they can produce cholesterol. And then when they produce this cholesterol, they live off the cholesterol. I don't know how they do it. I'm not medically trained. I'm not a biochemist. So I don't know how these cancer cells produce cholesterol, but that's just what I read on the internet, read on Google, that they produce cholesterol and they can live off of the cholesterol. So basically, these cancer cells, not only can they live off estrogen, they can also live off cholesterol. So that's very interesting indeed. So here I am taking this very dangerous drug that you have to be prescribed it. You can't just go to Sainsbury's and get it. And there's no guarantee it's going to keep the cancer at bay. And they did say that one of the ways that they get around it is to make you stay on aromatase inhibitors for longer than normal. So like before, they would say you had to take these drugs for 5 years, but I'm being told I have to take the drugs for 10 years. So obviously they feel I'm a very high risk of cancer, which is why they're making me take these drugs for 10 years instead of 5 years. So that means I'll be 74 when I get to start taking the drugs, if I live that long. So I just thought it was really interesting, and I wanted to make a video on this subject because I didn't know. I knew that my cancer was driven by estrogen. I knew that. And I knew that I had to take aromatase inhibitors to block the aromatase to keep the the androgens from turning to estrogen. But I didn't know that my cancer cells are very crafty and that they can produce cholesterol and live off the cholesterol. That's something else I'll have to research. So that concludes this particular video. I just thought that you, my viewers who are interested in cancer, would find that interesting. And I'll do some more research about how the cancer cells produce cholesterol and live off the cholesterol. And when I find that out, I'll make another video on that. So thank you for watching. If you like my video, please like and subscribe. And I look forward to making another video for you in the very near future.